very quickly. Maybe Islam's other opponents are more worried about the takedown and not getting back up. Do you agree with that kind of assessment?
For sure. Going in there 5 rounds of Islam, you got to expect to at least hit the ground at some point. You know, he's battle tested. He's been in there against some of the best guys, so expect to hit the ground. But it's what you can do with that. Obviously, perfect world, we keep him away, not be able to hit the ground. But yeah, we expect a full mixed martial arts battle.
Jack Della Maddalena didn't mince his words when he warned Islam Makhachev that if the Dagestani superstar wasn't expecting a real fight, he was in for a rude awakening.
I've got the skills. I think everyone can give people tough fights. I think if he's not expecting a tough fight, he'll be in for a rude awakening.
For Della Maddalena, this isn't just another title defense, it's a chance to make history in the heart of New York City. Standing beneath the bright lights of Times Square earlier this week, his face lit up across an enormous electronic billboard, the first time an Australian UFC fighter has ever earned that honor. It was a surreal moment, shared with family, friends, and training partners who traveled halfway across the world to witness it. He described the experience as something truly special, a moment that captured just how far he's come since his early days in Perth.
Just break his will, break his face.
What do you think about Islam? He's obviously gone up a division. He's said that he's, enjoyed just stuffing his face whatever he wants. Do you think that's going to work in his favour?
I mean, I think it's good, I always try, even the younger guys, I try and tell them, a lot of people leave a lot of themselves out in the weight cut, and I think that can be detrimental. So I expect the best Islam Makhachev ever. I feel like he'll be fully fueled, so I expect a tough fight.
You also expect that you'll finish him? Are we thinking a punch to the head, or is that how you
wait and see? Anything, any strike to the head, the body.
Yeah.
Just break his will, break his face.
Now, as he prepares to headline UFC 322, Della Maddalena finds himself in a position few could have predicted a year ago. Once viewed as an underdog, he now carries the hopes of a nation into one of the most iconic sporting arenas on the planet. Across the cage from him will stand Islam Makhachev, a man many still believe is the best fighter on earth. The former lightweight champion, now chasing greatness in a second division, comes into this fight with a 15-fight win streak and a reputation built in dominance. But JDM isn't intimidated. To him, this is the kind of challenge that defines legacies.
Yeah, he's definitely improved. Like, you look at his first fight compared to where he's at now, it's a lot better. And you got to think when he's stepping up to welterweight, he'll be in better shape, like almost better shape, I would think. Islam's like more than just a grappler. Like, he's all round. Obviously, he's one of the best MMA guys. But yeah, I think it's pretty underrated. I think a lot of people just think he'll be able to hold me down. But yeah, I think I got some tricks to get up. Yeah, try and visualize winning. Like putting him down and then just visualizing other ref stopping pulling me up. That's
detail, the feeling as well.
Yeah. The Australian champion, known for his calm demeanor and crisp boxing, sees the fight as a complete test of mixed martial arts. He understands Makhachev's wrestling and grappling are elite, but he's not shying away from those exchanges. In his eyes, a 5-round war with the Dagestani means being ready for every possible scenario. Striking, clinching, scrambling, and even surviving on the mat. Ideally, he'd love to keep the fight standing, where his sharp hands could make the difference. But he knows reality might drag him into deeper waters. Either way, he's prepared for all of it.
Off with Islam the other day, what did you just make of his size and how he's added the weight for welterweight?
Not much. It's hard to sort of gauge. We're on top of a building. I was pretty freaked out about that, so it was hard to sort of gauge too much.
Are you afraid of heights?
A little bit.
Despite being one of the sport's most respected technicians, Della Maddalena still carries an underdog mentality. Even after capturing the welterweight title at UFC 315 in Montreal, he's never lost that sense of hunger. In his mind, nothing's really changed. It's always about the next challenge, and that mindset might be what makes him so dangerous. He still trains like he has something to prove, still approaches every fight as though he's chasing a dream instead of defending. This fight has drawn massive attention, not just because of the names involved, but because of what it represents. UFC President Dana White has already called it a super fight, a clash that could reshape the pound-for-pound rankings entirely. For Makhachev, it's an opportunity to cement himself as one of the greatest fighters in the history of the sport. For Della Maddalena, it's a chance to etch his name beside legends and prove that his rise wasn't just a fairy tale run.
I've got the skills. I think everyone can give people tough fights. I think if he's not expecting a tough fight, he'll be in for a rude awakening. I mean, I still feel like I'm the underdog. I still have that underdog mentality. I feel like I've got everything to prove, so not much has changed. I mean, I enjoy the underdog role, so.
You and your team are very much like, well, we might get taken down, but we can get it back up very quickly. Maybe Islam's other opponents are more worried about the takedown and not getting back up. Do you agree with that kind of assessment?
For sure. Going in there 5 rounds of Islam, you got to expect to at least hit the ground at some point. You know, he's battle tested. He's been in there against some of the best guys, so expect to hit the ground. But that's what you can do with that. Obviously, perfect world be keep him away, not be able to hit the ground. But yeah, we expect a full mixed martial arts battle.
Among those watching closely is veteran commentator John Ineg, who still considers Makhachev the pound-for-pound king until someone proves otherwise. Ineg admitted he was surprised by how wide the betting odds were, suggesting that the Australian might be getting less credit than he deserves. To him, Makhachev's accomplishments speak for themselves. His dominance at lightweight, his consistency, his composure under pressure. But Ineg also believes that standing with Della Maddalena could be dangerous for anyone, even someone as skilled as Islam.
Islam Makhachev is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world on my list. That, relatively speaking, means nothing, right? But it's crazy to think about a scenario here in 2025 in which Islam Makhachev is not a world champion. He didn't lose his belt in the octagon, and it seems like he was sort of forced this way because of the emergence of Ilia Topuria, right? So it's not out of the realm possibility that he goes back to 155 pounds, but the ability to check this box as a double champion, simultaneous or otherwise, is something that has long been a desire of Islam Makhachev. You know, some guys like Alexandre and Pantoja and Merab Dvalishvili, they want to be the greatest flyweight or bantamweight champion of all time. Islam Makhachev has long desired to be a double champion, something that maybe Khabib Nurmagomedov didn't realize. So it's all in front of Islam. I'm fascinated by the betting line, if you can't tell. I don't understand why it's so demonstrably wide. But Islam deserves his flowers. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you don't lose your pound-for-pound #1 status outside of the octagon. So for me, he's still the king until proven otherwise.
As fight night approaches, opinions across the MMA world have been split. Some see Makhachev's transition to welterweight as a new era of dominance. Others believe Della Maddalena has the tools and composure to pull off an upset that would send shockwaves through the sport. Former title challenger George Masvidal believes the stakes couldn't be higher. He said that if Della Maddalena beats Islam, he should be crowned the new pound-for-pound #1, a rare feat for any fighter, let alone one so early in his title reign.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is, though, Jack is special. I've said this already. Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack, #1 pound for. Wow, that's impressive. You know, I don't know. It's a good fight, man. I think I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Other fighters have chimed in too, and the predictions have been anything but unanimous. Khamzat Chimaev confidently backed Makhachev, calling his move up in weight a statement of intent rather than a risk. He believes Islam will handle the bigger division just as dominantly as he did lightweight, showing the world that his skill set transcends size.
Jack or Islam? Well, Islam will get the and Jack will do that. My trainer, asking his coach, brother, wait, what are you gonna say? We'll see. Your opinions? 10% od Madalenas. O, Islam doktor je zvedel. Delal, sam problem. Hitno. Coach says 55% Maddalena, 45 Islam, but I think Islam, we'll see. Both good fighters. Islam moving up, it's interesting to see what's he gonna do. But I think Islam will be more, he's gonna use his wrestling more in this fight.
But not everyone agrees. Paddy Pimblett, never one to stay quiet, voiced the complete opposite opinion. He has been critical of Makhachev's striking for years and thinks Della Maddalena will expose that weakness under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden. Pimblett sees the Australian's sharp boxing and timing as the key, predicting that if the fight remains standing, Jack could embarrass the Dagestani star and prove he's the most dangerous boxer in the UFC today.
But I hope JDM absolutely punches his little head in. Yeah, I hope JDM batters him.
and if he can keep it on the feet, then he will absolutely batter him, and I hope he does. Islam was chatting pony the other day.
Not Paddy for sure. Paddy beat who? Like Tony Ferguson, who else he beat? Everybody beat Chandler. Nobody checked Paddy before.
Saying who have I beat when he got a title shot at lightweight off beating Bobby Green. Someone who I beat faster than you little bum. Get back down to lightweight and I'll punch your head in as well.
Charles Oliveira, who has shared the octagon with Makhachev, offered a more balanced take. Having felt the strength and control of Islam firsthand, he knows how dangerous the early rounds can be. But Oliveira also understands how fatigue and pressure can shift momentum as the fight drags on. He believes that if Della Maddalena can weather the early storm and avoid major damage in the first 2 rounds, the final stretch could turn in his favor. Oliveira sees this matchup as one that could flip dramatically depending on who controls the pace late.
Quem que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que... Ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo, é o time.
Fellow UFC 322 competitor Carlos Prates, who's sharing the card with both men, also sided with Della Maddalena. What impressed him most wasn't Jack's technique, but his composure. Prates believes that staying calm under relentless pressure is what separates great fighters from champions. Against someone like Makhachev, who thrives on overwhelming his opponents, that mental steadiness could be the deciding factor. He feels that if Jack maintains patience and avoids desperation in grappling exchanges, he might be able to drag Islam into unfamiliar territory and win a decision that few thought possible.
The main event is also in your weight class, JDM and Islam. Who do you think is going to win that?
I think the favorite is Islam, but Jackie show like he grew up a lot as a fighter. Since he stopped fight now, he was a long time without fight, almost 2 years, and he got really good skills to fight Belal Muhammad, defense takedowns. So I think he's gonna win.
You think Jack is going to win?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think he wins a decision, or do you think he stops him?
I think decision is really hard fight.
You think Islam stays at 170 or he goes back?
If he loses, I don't know. It depends how he feels during the fights. How close is gonna be the fight, you know?
Ian Gary took a more physical view of the fight. To him, size matters. Della Maddalena is a true welterweight. Solid, durable, and powerful. Makhachev, no matter how skilled, is stepping into a division filled with naturally bigger men. Gary thinks that difference could play a massive role. He's convinced that if Jack lands clean early, the fight could end in spectacular fashion. His power, Gary insists, isn't just ordinary, it carries the kind of weight that can shut lights out with a single shot.
Who do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
However, Joaquin Buckley doesn't share that optimism. Known for his own knockout highlights, Buckley respects Della Maddalena's striking but doesn't believe it will matter once Makhachev closes the distance. In his prediction, Islam will waste no time bringing the fight to the ground, where he'll smother Jack with relentless pressure and transitions. Buckley sees the fight ending by the 3rd round, either through a submission or ground and pound finish. Emphasizing that Makhachev isn't just a control artist, he's a finisher who knows how to end fights decisively.
I'm happy that he's moving up and he's taking on a new challenge within JDM. JDM has massive knockout power, has excellent boxing, has excellent striking. But that ain't gonna mean nothing when you're on your back, all right? So Islam immediately, when they fight, he's gonna push him up against the cage. He's gonna take him down to the canvas, and he's gonna hold him there as long as he can. But you already know, Islam, he's not just gonna hold you there and just wait for the decision. He's a finisher. You already know, man, with his amount of weapons that he has, he got the darts, he got the anaconda, he got the head and arm chokes, so he coming for that neck, all right? So JDM, if he's unable to keep the fight from going to the ground, he's finished, he's done. So I got Islam beat JDM in the third round, either via TKO or submission.
Dricus Du Plessis also expects Makhachev to walk out of Madison Square Garden with 2 belts. His reasoning is simple: experience and resume. Makhachev has faced and beaten elite names across divisions, former champions, top contenders, and legends of the sport. Du Plessis believes that kind of pedigree makes all the difference at the championship level. While he acknowledges Della Maddalena's sharpness and power, he sees Islam's experience as the deciding factor that will guide him to victory.
Welterweight title bout: Jack Della Maddalena against Islam Makhachev.
This fight is truly one of those fights where your heart says something but your mind says something else. I love Jack Della. I think he's an incredible fighter. I love watching him fight. How good he did against Bilal was incredible. I mean, Bilal is really good wrestling. But if you look at his opponents versus Makhachev's opponents, Makhachev, he was pound for pound for very long. Pound for pound king for a very good reason. People think Jack Della is going to be bigger. I don't think so. But this one, I would love for him to win, but unfortunately, I cannot go against Makhachev in this one. He is just so good. And I don't think he's going to give up anything. I think he's going to be great at that weight, to be honest.
Supporting that view is Umar Nurmagomedov, a close ally and training partner of Makhachev. Having witnessed Islam's transition to welterweight firsthand, Umar insists that the move has only made him stronger. He describes Makhachev as faster, more explosive, and technically sharper than ever before. According to him, this isn't the same Islam fans remember from his lightweight days. This is a complete fighter, ready to counter any style Della Maddalena brings, whether it's forward pressure, slick counterpunching, or disciplined striking.
He have, he don't have some just one plan for fight, and he have plan A, B, C, and like all alphabet, D, E, A, everything, like if something not he couldn't do, he gonna try other one not good, he have next plan, and he's amazing fighter, and he's amazing friend, brother, and I think he will take this belt. I think he deserves.
Yeah. When I talked to him right after he vacated the lightweight title, he said he was having a bit of a hard time like adding on the muscle and keeping it on. He said it wasn't making him feel good, but he looks very good now. Do you think he's like very built well for welterweight?
Yes, he become a bigger, now we have more power, more than ever, and I think he's ready.
Then there's Dustin Poirier, another man who has felt Makhachev's power inside the octagon. Poirier believes Islam will win by decision, citing his ability to control the pace and dictate where the fight takes place. Still, he admitted he wouldn't be shocked if Della Maddalena found a way to land something big, maybe a knee, maybe a punch. That changes everything in an instant. Poirier said the only outcomes that would truly surprise him would be Jack winning by decision or submission, given Makhachev's elite grappling pedigree.
I would think Islam by decision, but if Jack does win, I'm not going to be totally blown away if he lands a shot that hurts Islam or a knee or something. Obviously, if he beats Islam by decision or submits Islam, then I'm going to be blown away. But I got to go with Islam by decision. That's if I was betting on it, that's what I would bet on.
The numbers back up the stakes. Makhachev enters this fight with a record of 27 wins and just 1 loss, boasting 15 consecutive victories, 10 of them by finish. He's already defended his lightweight belt 4 times and conquered some of the division's best. Della Maddalena, on the other hand, holds an 18-2 record with 8 straight wins in the UFC, 5 of them finishes. His climb to the top has been fast and thrilling, and now it all comes down to this moment. For both men, UFC 322 is about legacy. For Makhachev, it's a chance to join the exclusive club of 2 division champions and silence any remaining doubters. For Della Maddalena, it's an opportunity to prove that a fighter from Perth can stand among the best in the world and redefine what Australian MMA represents.
There was an interview or something like that where Jack said he said, "I'm a better mixed martial artist and I'm coming to take his pound for pound spot."
I think nobody believes this. He's a good boxer. He's a good fighter, but I know I have better skills than him.
Islam, when you said that this is going to be the toughest test of your career, is that because of how good Jack is, or because he's just the bigger guy at welterweight?
No, not because of he bigger guy, because he's good, you know. He's good. I saw his fight with Bilal, with many guys. He's good everywhere, but I believe, you know, he's good in, yes, he's striking like pretty good, but I saw his wrestling. He can defend, his grappling, he like feel, if somebody take him down, it's not like something's, he's surprised, you know. He feel good also there, but I know my skill is better.
The storylines swirling around Madison Square Garden are electric. Some say Islam's dominance continuing without interruption. Others believe Jack's explosive style could deliver one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. But whatever happens on fight night, one thing is certain. Jack Della Maddalena isn't stepping into that cage to play safe. He's stepping in to leave a piece of himself inside one of the most famous arenas in the world. Win, lose, or draw, and if Islam Makhachev truly isn't expecting a war, he might just find out the hard way what a rude awakening really feels like.